Hello everyone, ArchDraft here. Kind of just a random video today. Not really trying to show off Vampire Survivors. I'm not sure I really need to. Just kind of wanted to talk about why I like Vampire Survivors and games like it. More so games like it. Kind of a hot take, but Vampire Survivors is cool. It definitely kind of made the genre popular. It's just not specifically my favorite one. Anyways, that's unrelated. I play a lot of these style of games, and I think they're really fun. And I was like, you know what, I should just talk about why I like them. I'm sure people will want to watch that. So hopefully you do. I'm going to start with my wildest take on the genre and what I like about it. It kind of feels... What I like about it is kind of what I like about tower defense games. I'm not going to say that it's a tower defense game. That would be crazy. Maybe. But my goal's to make it a tower defense game. Does that make sense? My goal's to make it a tower defense game. I want to get so strong on this game that I don't have to do anything anymore. I just stand there, everything dies around me, and I feel great. And that's what I want. And that is all I'm going for when I'm playing these games. I'm trying to find just the build that makes it where I don't need to do anything. And that's kind of just always my goal. I want to be OP. That's all it comes down to. Sure, there are builds where they're really strong, you'll just have to move around a little bit, but I want to be really strong and not have to do that. Whether that's because I kill everything before it gets me, or because it doesn't matter if it gets to me or not, I'm just not going to die. So, maybe I get to a point where my lifesteal or health regen is just so great that even if the enemies make it all the way to me, I just refuse death and continue to kill everything eventually. It's just one of the things that I really love about these style of games. I just love it. It's so much fun. I like getting to the point where I just don't have to play the game anymore. It's great. And maybe you have to like dodge an attack or something if a particularly strong kind of like a boss enemy or anything comes around, but aside from that, I don't want to have to, like, actually move my character. I want to get to a point where I can just sit there and watch as the enemies try to attack me and just can't do anything. Which brings me to my next point. I want to not be able to, or not have to do anything so I can continue watching whatever YouTube video or podcast I happen to have up whenever I'm playing these games. Even right now, I have YouTube up on my other monitor. I'm not playing it because I'm recording a video, but I have it up because I was playing it while I was watching videos. It's just, they're so mindless. I can just kind of muscle memory avoid enemies while listening to a podcast or slightly watching a video as I try to avoid enemies. It doesn't take that much of my attention to avoid enemies. I just need enough. Another thing that's fun is just killing hordes of enemies. I mean, that's always going to be fun. Who doesn't love just walking through, watching everything die as it tries to get close to you? It's great. It's so much fun. Of course, that's going to be one of the reasons why I enjoy the games. See, right now, still very weak. Eventually, though, very strong. We'll grab the X. Another fun thing is just trying out different builds. I sometimes find out that a item that I've been just completely sleeping on the whole time is actually insanely strong if I really just give it a chance. So yeah, I mean, those are kind of my main points on this. And that's kind of a short video, so I'm gonna just figure out other things to talk about. Let's just start with, like, what other games I think are really good in the genre. So I've been playing recently a lot of Brotato, which I originally did not realize was this style of game. It does it in waves, but it's this style of game. And I have been really enjoying it. It is a lot of fun. And they have so many different characters and everything that it, like, actually challenges me to try different items and different builds when I would absolutely just not do that if there wasn't a reason for me to. I am the kind of guy that just sticks to the same build a lot of times unless you give me a reason not to. That's what I found out while playing Dark Souls, because I keep telling myself, okay, this time, we're not gonna do the old sword and board. We're gonna change it up. We're gonna do fast sword and board. And then I'll be like, oh yeah, dexterity swords. Now I'm really changing it up. And then, you know, 3 hours later, I'm like, man, when did I start using this claymore? And there we are. I'm back to just normal old strength build sword and board. Nothing changes. I just always end up playing that. But in a Vampire Survivors game where characters have different strengths, I have a reason to try different builds out and discover, hey, this item that this weapon that I thought was just gonna be trash is actually really strong in the right circumstance. So I love finding out these new builds, the ways to just be really strong. I like finding ways to be really strong in these games. I think it's a lot of fun. The experimentation of it all, it definitely makes it one of my favorite things to do in the game. So yeah, Brotato, let's see, what else? And I really gotta remember what all these are better. I don't remember the evolutions and everything as well in this game. Although I do realize I kind of fucked myself because that bird needs the other bird to be a better bird. It. I don't know why, I've just suddenly forgotten all of the other Vampire Survivor games I play. I don't know that I'm editing this at all, really. I was like, man, I really want to talk about this at some point, and I've been thinking about it for, like, a good few months now, and I had started recording footage to do, like, a really big video, really exciting video, just something crazy, and, that never happened. And then I thought about it tonight, and I was like, oh yeah, it's 4 a.m. Fuck it, let's record a video, and here I am. Real exciting stuff. Oh yeah, Death Must Die. That was kind of a newer one that came out. It hasn't had an update really either for a while now. Unless it had one in the last couple weeks and I didn't notice, but I don't think it has. But it's really good, and I have high hopes for getting updates and everything. I'm hoping that what they're doing is doing the slow updates but big ones rather than smaller updates. I prefer at least like a once a month kind of thing on updates. It doesn't even have to be big updates. You can be planning big updates but still do some like small stuff once a month. But yeah, it's a really fun game. It kind of takes the idea that Hades had, where there are different gods and stuff in the world that are going to be augmenting your abilities and giving you new ones. And it takes that idea and adds it into this style of game. So I really enjoy that. Along with that, it also has kind of like the equipment drop situation where sometimes enemies will drop equipment and you will be able to kind of decide whether you want to put that on the character you're using right now or put it on one of your other characters so that they have better builds. And once you put it on a character, it normally binds it. Some items can only be put on certain characters though, because of like it's their weapon type or it's their style of armor, that kind of thing. But no, it's really fun. I think overall, it's probably, assuming it gets more updates, it'll probably be my favorite one. Each character has their own kind of attack pattern, their own kind of play style. I think it just makes it a lot of fun for me. Let's see. There was another one that I was thinking of. It's really good. I'm sure I'll think about it again eventually, maybe. Brain is not braining right now. 4 a.m. is not the best time to record a video. Oh, it's 4:20. Nice. There's a lot of dead time of me just trying to remember what the other game I was thinking of now. Okay, fuck it. We'll just go move on to different one. Time Wasters. That's another one I played a lot of. I kind of like what that one does, where I just moved my mouth in front of my face, and that probably messed up my audio. I kind of like what that one does, where different characters have like a set weapon that they start with, and by unlocking that character and playing as them, you unlock that weapon for all the other characters also. It's not like every character does that. There's just like a few that do that, because I think there's 12 characters in that game. And I had... oh man, I played a lot of that one. I probably got like 40 hours in it. I had beaten it with every character, and then was trying to work through all the characters like special challenges, and then I just kind of stopped there because I was like, oh, okay, you know what, this is... I've kind of enjoyed what there was to enjoy on this game, and I think it's time to move on. Halls of Torment, that was the one I was trying to remember. Gosh, I can't believe I forgot its name. Halls of Torment, really good. It kind of has like a old school Diablo style of graphics, at least it does in my blurred memory of what old school Diablo looks like. I could be wrong. I didn't exactly get to play a lot of Diablo, and at least the older ones, because I was very young whenever the older ones came out. I wasn't really playing that style of game. But anyways, Halls of Torment, a lot of fun. Also does kind of the item thing, but your items are kind of just shared between characters. If I had to rank it on my list of favorites, I'd say right now it's probably a little ahead of Death Must Die, just because it's getting more updates and a little more regularly, I would say. Although I guess that's a little unfair. Death Must Die has only been out for like 3 or 4 months. 4, I think. I think it was end of November it came out. Oh, I'm really drawing a blank. But anyways, I'd say I like it a little more. And my main thing was that I was just waiting for more content to come out for it. Man. I'm getting to that point where I really need to start getting some of my weapons upgraded and evolved, because I am getting very close to death. Let's do this area. I'm just gonna keep upgrading the garlic so I can get that evolution a little faster. Let me go through these guys. Bone Razor minions, that's another pretty popular one. It kind of does its own unique thing where you're not what's attacking, you're just you're just walking around and you're summoning minions that are attacking for you. So that one's pretty fun. Soulstone Survivors, that one's another really good one. Another one that offers a lot of build variety. You know what, I forgot to mention on Brotato, one of my favorite things about the way it does things is where you can kind of like recycle your weapons, or you can combine them, so you can get multiple of the same weapon, and you can combine them with each other if they're the same rarity. That way you can upgrade it to the to a better rarity. And then that kind of lets you switch up your build on the fly. And I really like that aspect, because you can find yourself being like, wow, this build just kind of sucks. I really need to like do something about this. And it lets you do that. What's another one? 20 minutes to survive, I believe is another one. I think that's what it's called. I can alt tab? What am I doing? Boom. Real 20 minutes till dawn, that's what it's called. 20 minutes till dawn. Gosh, we're just gonna pretend that I said it right the first time, hey? Huh? I knew you guys would go with it. Thank you all. But yeah, 20 minutes till dawn. Another really good one. Each character has like their own kind of special trait on how they play. And then you can unlock new weapons to use, and some characters will be better with certain weapons. Like, there was one character who has a chance of hitting characters with a lightning bolt, or hitting enemies with a lightning bolt whenever you shoot them. So I used a weapon with just a really high fire rate, because I was like, yeah, fuck it. We'll just throw as much lead their way as possible, and that way I have a higher chance of just proccing that ability. So I really like games having that kind of style, where you can kind of just switch up your build variety, or you can kind of like play to the strengths of the characters by going off a certain build. There we go, I got that upgrade, man. There we are. Now we're getting strong. Now if I can upgrade that rune tracer, I'll be doing really good. And see, this plays another thing where I end up doing the kind of the same builds. I've always find myself using the garlic and the rune tracer. I don't know why I live and die by those two, but they're great, and I'm always going to do it. I've made up my mind. You cannot stop me. They're the way to go. Hold on, if the listed weapons reduces when moving. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that, I guess. You know what? Another one on my list of favorite Vampire Survivor games is going to be yet another Zombie Survivors. I love that one so much. They recently added another character, so I don't have everything unlocked still, but at one point I absolutely did. I had every character all the way leveled up. All of their skills and everything that they get. Oh man, that one's another really fun one. It's also in early access, but oh man, it's so fun. I really enjoy that one. Kind of a unique thing that it does that I haven't seen so much is where rather than having like separate skills and everything, they're like, I think the new character they added makes 7 characters now. And what it is each character has their own weapon and set of abilities. So you can upgrade the abilities on a character by leveling up, but as you get new characters, their abilities and weapons are added to the pool of stuff that gets upgraded. So you can kind of like say to yourself, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to avoid getting a new character added to my team this run until I have a bunch of stuff leveled up on this character to help carry me through, so they're really strong and gives me time to get the other character really strong too. That kind of thing is fun, and also just finding out what different builds work again, because you can have up to 3 characters. What happens is every so often, I think it's 2 minutes or a minute and a half, something like that, a little statue will appear somewhere on the map, and you can run over there and set them free, and you can either add one of the 2 choices to your team or choose to just take money instead and not add a character to your team. And if you're doing what I was saying, where you want to just try and like keep your character you have, level them up, and so that they're really strong, so you can get another character later and be relatively safe, that's the way to go. Just take the money and move on. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Man, I think it, Halls of Torment, and Death Must Die are probably my top 3. I think Brotato probably makes it in at 4th. Let's see. For a while, Rogue Genesia was my favorite. It's probably at 5th now. But for a while, it was my favorite because it had all these different weapons and everything, and they didn't limit you on what weapons you could have, so, or how many weapons you could have, so you could just have all the weapons. And I love that. I will happily just have every weapon you'll let me have. But they changed that because of frame issues and the game not running as well later on. And they're right, it didn't run well later on because you had so many different projectiles on the screen, so many enemies trying to run at you. It was hectic, and I loved every minute of it. And then they changed it, and I hate that. I loved it so much. I loved my computer dying over here as I was trying to so I was trying to kill hordes of enemies with my like 25 weapons that I have. I'm assuming I had 25 arms to use all of them with too. But it's still really fun, and they also have different characters who, of course, have different plays. As a matter of fact, they have one character who just has his own unique weapons because he uses guns instead of the normal weapons that are involved in the game. So he has his own special upgrade paths for his weapons, and also you can set it to where you actually aim and shoot with the character, and I thought that was pretty neat too. There's a lot of games that actually have, or a lot of these style of games that have that element of aiming your attacks to them. Halls of Torment's another good example of that, actually. But yeah, I love the different variety they have, and then they also have a bunch of little challenge modes in Rogue Genesia, and that was really fun too. And of course, I had to do a bunch of those. They also kind of split it up into like different ranks of difficulty, and as you go higher ranks, the game will actually have like so basically you explore on a map. Think like Slay the Spire style, where you kind of have your starting point, you do your first fight, and then you'll have like 3 or 4 different paths you can choose to go down, and you can have different like level types and everything, so that there'll be different challenges for completing that round, and you'll move all the way down to the end of the map until you get to the boss of the map. At like the first rank, I think it's like rank F, that'll just be the end. But if you go to the next rank, I think it's rank E, then whenever you finish that, you go to a new map now, and that new map, I believe, was a desert. The first map's like a kind of foresty area, the second one's a desert, the third one's a cave, and then they've added a 4th rank now, and I haven't done it yet. But yeah, they've got just a lot of content to do on Rogue Genesia. It's really good. Let's see. I'm kind of struggling to think of more Vampire Survivor games that I've played right now. I mean, I've named a lot of them now. They're just really fun. Again, I get really into them whenever I'm like wanting to watch YouTube videos or listen to podcasts, that kind of thing. And I end up just going down a massive list of these types of games. I'm gonna cover back over while this is going. See what else I can come up with for this style. I think I've named really my favorite ones. Oh, Scarlet Tower. Scarlet Tower is pretty good. I don't have a lot to say about it, really. It's pretty solid one. I like the colors. You know what? I'll actually say that. Scarlet Tower, really nice color palette. I really like it. Yeah, I think that might be it for the video. I rambled on for a suitable amount of time. And you know what? This was probably a really cool video for you to have on while listening to a podcast or something. Wait, sorry, fuck. I completely fucked that up. Sorry. Holy shit. It's probably a really good video to have on while you're playing this type of game. That's what I fucking meant to say. Oh, fuck. Oh. It was too late to do this video. I'm not editing that out. I leave my mistakes in there for you to hear. Fuck it. Quick shout out to Choo Choo Survivor, though. It's like Vampire Survivors, except you're a train. And you go along a track. And I have like 12 hours in it, and I almost have all the achievements. It's been pretty fun, though. Yeah, I think that's about it. My energy's pretty much gone. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. You did? You might be absolutely insane like I am, because it was mostly just me rambling. Aside from that, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hit the like button too, if you haven't already. And subscribe, because, man, I love just seeing another +1 on the subscriber number. I don't get a lot of them, so I really like seeing it whenever I do get one. I like seeing the likes too, because I like knowing that you guys are enjoying the content and everything. I hope this was at least mildly entertaining, because that's all I'm really trying to do, is just mess around, talk about things I like, and entertain people. That's what matters for me. Just giving people at least a chuckle. I'll take it. But yeah. And, maybe don't record random videos at 4 a.m. That's a good suggestion. Anyways, bye.